Okay, let's see what's going on with the election today. Oh, My Hero Academia is trending. Above the election. Why am I not surprised? Okay, let's see what this shit's about. Holy shit! Therefore, Todoroki can only cry out of one eye. Wonderful. What have I been saying? What have I been saying? What you got there? A smoothie. Okay, how late am I? How late am I? A month? Over a month? Perfect. Hello everyone, it's me, your favorite person, even though you've only seen me in 2 videos and those weren't even official videos, but that's besides the point. But regardless, I am finally here with an official video on this channel, though it's definitely not the one you were expecting. Did I say that this video was going to be about the Umbrella Academy? Yes. Is it? Clearly not. You see, it was, but then November happened. And trust me, if you're here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't you even try to pretend. But for those of you who don't know, allow me to fill you in. Now, it's not exactly a secret that things happened on November the 5th this year. A lot of things. And one of those things just happened to be the My Hero Academia fandom losing their shit. And for a very good reason. Hey. No spoilers! They already know, Samantha. We were trending above the election on Twitter. Everyone knows. Needless to say, I have a lot of video ideas now. And even though I'm sure that all of you already know what it is, I will say it here. It was finally revealed in chapter 290 that Dabi is Todoroki Toya. Validation. And what now? I don't know, I didn't think we'd get this far. And considering all that's happened in the manga thus far, I am here to talk about that today, as well as everything else that has happened in the following chapters. Though before we get into that, just a quick disclaimer. I have not actually read every single chapter of the My Hero Academia manga. Nor have I actually watched every single episode of the anime thus far. Scandalous, I know. Granted, I feel like I've watched every single episode of the anime with all those reaction videos that I keep watching, but either way. So really, you can probably take what I have to say with a grain of salt, but I'm here to say it anyway. Because yeah, let's go in order, shall we? Dabi is Toya. Yeah, Dabi's Toya. Oh. So the Dabi reveal. There's a lot of things that we could say about this. But first and foremost, fucking finally. It's only been like 6 years, and all we've gotten up until this point is a bunch of weird hair colors and a blanked out text box. Are we still mad about that one? Yes. Yes, we are. Wait, how long has it been actually? I don't actually know. Either way, the entire reveal has gotten a lot of mixed reactions all across the world over the last, let's say, month. And I have to admit, it didn't exactly happen in the way that I expected it to, but I ain't complaining. Look at him, just living his best life. I'm proud of him. Granted, all the stuff that's happened in recent chapters doesn't make me so proud of him, but we'll get to that. So let's observe. We come in, charismatic, carefree, almost. He dumps whatever that is on his head. Honestly, stellar entrance, I will give him that. It's bold, classy, petty. I like it. And also, I would really like to know what kind of hair dye that is, or just what that is in general, because that shit worked fast. I mean, who knows, maybe he just didn't wash his hair for like 10 years. Kinda weird, but I mean, you know, you do you. Also, doing that at the exact same time that the rest of your message is being broadcasted to all of Japan. Poetic cinema. I don't know how it's poetic cinema, but it's poetic cinema. Obviously, there's not a lot to go off of in chapter 290, primarily because we don't know the rest of the story yet, which does come in the later chapters. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm digging this whole reveal thing. And honestly, if "come dance with your son in hell" is not the rawest dialogue you've ever heard, then I don't even know what to tell you. Moving on. Yes, the backstory of 291. Oh boy. Now, a lot of people have a lot of thoughts on this, and they're very differing from person to person. We see that Toya is the oldest, as expected, and that he was, in fact, Endeavor's first creation, and who he was training to surpass All Might. Still definitely not Father of the Year material, but apparently it was better than it was now. I don't know what to make of that. But I mean, if nothing else, Toya's hair just went white naturally and not from severe torture and stress. So, that's something. Look at him in his little jacket. Look at him. It's cute. And of course, while Dabi's gloating to Endeavor, his broadcast is currently being shown all across Japan, and the Todoroki family is not having a good time. Especially one in particular. Is what's already happened to him not enough, Horikoshi? Why can't you let him rest? Also, saying it right now, Shoto can only cry out of one eye. Calling it right now. I'm saying it. We're thinking it. We're all thinking it. I'm saying it. You almost definitely did not hear it here first, but I'm saying it. And then, of course, there's this bitch. Best Genist. He's alive! Good for him. That's it. I honestly don't know what else to say about him, but he's alive, which I think we already sort of knew. Did we know that? I think we knew that. Did Best Genist die in season 3? What is going on? Wouldn't you like to know, weather boy? Also, did this bitch really think that fabric was gonna work against a guy who can literally produce flames out of his body? Cause it seems like something you should have predicted. Moving on. I just want my boy to stop suffering! Is that too much to ask? Apparently, yeah. It is. Chapter 292. There are so many things happening in this chapter, oh my god. Yes, would you like some more pain? This man is falling apart as we speak. That does not look healthy. You should get that checked out. Oh shit. Oh shit! Okay, let's see. So, Makia's up. That's not good. Dabi and Shoto are apparently gonna duke it out. That's fun. And oh my god, everybody's dying, and okay, this is fine. Wait, what's that? Oh! It's Miria with a steel chair! Not gonna lie, I'm glad that Lemillion's back, finally, after all these years. It also kinda seems out of nowhere to me, especially since it's been about 2 to 3 months since Eri really started training. I don't think it should necessarily have happened that fast, but what do I know? Either way, Best Boy is here, and he is apparently not Toga, surprisingly. And then, of course, the beloved 293, which has not actually been released yet by the time I am recording this video. And now it has been. Hello, this is me 3 days in the future after recording the rest of that video. And I am here to give you my exact thoughts on exactly what the hell went on in this chapter. So, of course, let's address the elephant in the room, Lemillion. Turns out Eri only did need a few months of quirk training to be able to reverse the effects of the bullet. Which seems a little unrealistic, but you know what? I'm here for it. It's cool. And because I know there's a few of you who are actually pretty upset that she is basically just a plot device at this point, I assure you, Mirio knows it too. Look at these babies. I love them. And of course, there's Bakugo, who really needs to sit down because, honey, you are literally dying right now. Like, I get that Night Eye survived like a whole 12 hours or something really weird after getting impaled in his stomach and missing an entire abdomen. But I'm just saying, you should sit down. Having your organs rearranged probably isn't a good thing. And you are definitely not helping that by blowing yourself up everywhere, but you know what? You do you. And then, of course, what everybody was screaming about on Tumblr last Thursday. This. Yeah, not too many people were pretty sure how they felt about that. So, dynamite, huh? Gotta admit, I wasn't all about it at first, but after a few hours, it really grew on me. And I have decided that I like it. Is it cringy? Yes. But he's a teenager, and a fanboy. Let him live. Izuku really has the guts to call himself All Might's #1 fanboy when Bakugo is right over here. I mean, seriously, the new Big Three is going to be comprised of just All Might fanboys, and only one of them paid homage to his name, and it was Bakugo? Y'all need to step up your game out here. And then, of course, there's... Wow, the Totodeku shippers really just keep winning. But at what cost? I'm just gonna put it out there, I don't really care if it becomes a canon at this point, and I don't expect it to, because really, what are we expecting anyway? But if these two are not on a first name basis by the end of the manga, then what's the point? If they don't end up on a first name basis, then what's this all been for? What have we been working towards? Quite frankly, it is what they deserve. And what they also deserve is a hug. Wait, no, not like that. Yeah, so was anybody gonna tell me on Thursday that Shoto was currently getting hugged and roasted alive by his brother? Or was I just supposed to figure that out by digging through all the tags myself? When I said that Shoto needed a hug, this is not what I meant, but go off, I guess. I didn't ask to be hurt like this, but this manga is just a gift that keeps on giving. As it stands, Shoto is just getting visibly more and more traumatized by the second. And honestly, I have no idea where we're going after this arc. What do you do with this? How do you handle that? And also, as a little miniature side note, I saw a post the other day on Instagram that pointed out that the only time Shoto gets held by his family is when they're hurting him. I'm suffering. And also, Deku, we love to see it, honey. You're doing amazing. And of course, we can't forget the mountain team. My babies are amazing. Okay, back to the rest of the video. Now that we've got all the specifics covered, let's talk about the rest, shall we? Now, over the last month, pretty much everybody has been arguing about the ethics of this whole situation, especially with the whole thing with Dabi and Endeavor, as well as several people claiming that several characters are abuse apologists. All I'm saying is that some of y'all need to calm down. Take a breath, please. If nothing else, this series has shown that morality is anything but simple. At first, My Hero Academia presented itself as being your very typical sort of show. Good versus evil, heroes versus villains, quite in the literal sense. But as we've gone on, we've discovered very clearly that it's not exactly like that, or at least not in the way that we think. The villains of the show aren't villains because they're evil. They're villains because society's failed them and they have no other path. Because society decided for them what their path was going to be simply because of their power. And I'm not talking about characters like Moonfish, he's a whole other deal. I'm talking about the League of Villains that we've come to know and love. They aren't inherently bad people, they've just had really bad things happen to them. And what happened to them forcibly led them down a much darker path. And Dabi, Toya, just happens to be one of those people. Now, I'm not saying that what Dabi's doing is right, because it ain't. But what I am saying is that based on everything else, it is understandable. What he's doing in his eyes is justified. That doesn't make it okay, but it does give us a basis for us to understand him. Now, the whole thing with Endeavor is a little rocky to talk about, but I suppose that's a given at this point. Was Endeavor an abuser in the past? Yes. Yes, he was. Does he deserve a chance to right his wrongs and better himself? Yes, I do think so. Has he grown from the person that he originally was? Yeah. A lot, actually. Does that make what he did in the past okay? No. No, it doesn't. And these are statements that can and should coexist. Just because an abuser is a better person now doesn't erase what they did in the past. And just because Endeavor is now a better man than he used to be and is trying to be a better father, that doesn't erase what he did to Shoto or what he did to Toya. Toya, of course, is still fixated on that, and can't let go of it or possibly ever find it in himself to forgive Endeavor. And that's valid. But what's also valid is Shoto choosing to forgive his father. He doesn't have to, but he's in his right to. And those two contrasting points of view between Shoto and Toya are really what's bringing this arc together. Basically, yes, Dabi is justified. No, his actions are not okay. Yes, Shoto needs a hug. Yes, it's okay for Endeavor to try and redeem himself. He's at least somewhat learned from his past wrongs and is trying to be a better man. No, that does not make what he did okay. This, of course, will only lead to... God, who knows what at this point. And then, of course, there's the whole thing with several characters possibly being abuse apologists, specifically pertaining to both Midoriya and Best Jeanist. While some of the things that have been said are definitely not great, I think the problem is mostly the differences between Japanese and Western culture. And while I could try to explain that to you myself, I instead found a Tumblr post that actually explains it pretty well, better than I ever could. And so I shall read that to you here. Props to that annoyed non-blogger on Tumblr.
I know this has been a consistent problem in most anime/manga fandoms, but still, it feels necessary to point out that most American/European BNHA fans fundamentally misunderstand the anime/manga because they often lack the necessary cultural context. And before people jump on me, this is not about excusing abuse, but about the ways in which different cultures deal with objectively immoral acts like abuse. Western cultures are almost always centered on the individual. Asian cultures, on the other hand, are often always centered on the concept of family and community. For us, you are first and foremost the member of a unit, and your individuality is secondary. Your family often becomes your identity, and your general conduct in public becomes reflective of your family's values. In Japan, and in most Asian countries, this means that often people have dual identities. One you display at home behind closed doors, and the other you present to the public. It is almost always considered a sacrilege to break this norm and present your private affairs in the public sphere. The act is considered a source of shame to the family as well as the community. While I do think this issue of the private and public mind is found in almost all Asian cultures, Japan is rather adamant in its adherence to this practice, and people often feel pressured to follow through with it. This dichotomy is often the source of conflict for most literary productions in Japan. When Best Jeanist or Deku speaks out against Dabi for publicly airing dirty laundry, they are only doing what their culture demands them to do. Their reaction is utterly incomprehensible to people who have never been raised in that particular culture. It is also worth mentioning that cultures, no matter how collectivist, are made up of individuals who have diverse opinions. Globalization and consumerism have fundamentally changed Asian societies, and the younger generation struggle with the concept of the private and the public mind. So you will find a small number of people in Japan who would sympathize with Dabi, and detest BJ's or Deku's reactions, particularly because Dabi as a character represents change. Dabi and the villains in general represent the failures of the hero society, but on a more meta level, they are also the failings of a conventional society which has no place for those who don't conform. Both the villains and the heroes are two sides of the same coin. They are both simultaneously right and wrong, and what they desperately need is balance.
So there you have it. And those are my thoughts on the Dabi reveal and everything else that's going on in the My Hero Academia fandom right now. I guarantee you I will be talking more about this series in the future when more manga chapters come out. And also when Season 5 airs. But for now, let's just remember, Bakugo really said, shining through the city with a little funk and soul. And unfortunately, no, I don't know when the next video is going to be. Things are very busy over here because, well, exams. But you can rest assured that I won't leave you hanging forever, and it will be on a Friday.
So apparently that was a lie. Anyway guys, videos are now going to be on Saturdays because that's easier for me to remember and work with. Still don't know when exactly, but Saturdays are the plan. So, yeah.
And as always, you will get your Vines videos. And now, let's just hope that another chapter doesn't get leaked before I post this. Which it might.
Oh, you have got to be kidding!
That's all for now, you guys. So as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. And before I forget, the question of the week, month, by week, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? And please tell me why, because I would really like to know. For me, it would probably be manipulation of probability. What are the chances I'm gonna come home and my entire bathtub is filled with Doritos? 100%. Anyway guys, thank you for being here, thank you for watching, thank you for putting up with me, and don't forget to let me know about anything else you might like to see me do a video on. You can either comment down below, or you can tweet me at Alicia_Irvine. Bye for now.